Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaste, everyone. This is Simon, and with a special guest here today. Guest is?
Hi, I'm Abhijit.
This is Shri Abhijit.
Oh, no.
Who is some of you know who've been here for a while, hosted the CQA last year. It was last January, right? About a year ago when I was off doing my thing. And now I'm in his homeland. So we're here together, and we're going to do just give you guys kind of a bit of an update. Abhijit has some very interesting insights. He's going to share about markets in general, what's happening, and how they relate to what's happening in the sky. And I'm going to talk for a few minutes, and then we'll get out of here. So first things first, in terms of Bitcoin and the markets, it seems like we're in the upside down. Now, if you've watched the show Stranger Things, the upside down is the inverse world of the world that we know. It's like the negative or the opposite. What I mean by that is last year, December, 2020 December, then 2021, January, February, March, very bullish, right? April, even into May. And then May took a nosedive. May, June, July, even August, very bad. I feel like, guys, this year will be the reverse. This is the flip side of it's the upside down, right? Meaning that January, February, March of this year were bad, even against our expectations. But end of April, well, really end of March, we thought the markets would start to come up. They're starting to. I think April has a hiccup or so in the first half, but April as well, and then May, April, May, and so forth should be the reverse of last year. That's the hope, at least. So, so this is a good time to be in the markets if you've survived the winter, the temporary winter, January, February, March. This is a good time to be back in. And yeah, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Abhijit. He has some very interesting things to note, particularly about Mercury and what's happening in the sky. So, sir, do you want to share some of your insights? Come on over here.
Hi, guys. Thank you, Simonji, for the kind words and providing me the opportunity to be here in front of everyone. Yes. So I have been observing Mercury and its position with regards to the sun for quite some time now. And I've noticed that 8 out of 10 times, and I'm not being conservative. 8 out of 10 times, Mercury, when it comes close to the sun, which means when it combusts, and especially within 3 degrees of the sun, and while approaching the sun, it mainly plays out that way. I've seen the markets, there's some correction that comes in, whatever news might come in. There could be some, some world leader tweeting something or some big exchange doing something or whatever. So that could play out. That's because Mercury is close to the sun and within 3 degrees. And it plays out where there's some kind of correction. And then right now, as we speak, all of a sudden, Bitcoin, it got corrected. I think it went up to 45, 250 or something like that, 45 or below that. But right now, as you speak, Mercury is Kazemi. So things are looking okay right now. It's kind of coming back. And that's what Kazemi means, where Mercury is right beneath the sun or with the sun. So yeah, sun's energy is, it's like a lamp where the light of the lamp, it's everywhere, but just beneath the lamp, there's still darkness. So here, the term darkness means Mercury is not affected. This is the concept in short of Kazemi. And right now the markets are doing good. So again, I think tomorrow, day after, it might come back a little, and then we can see things getting better. Now, one more thing I wanted to add. So this was about Kazemi and Mercury, and I want to tell you guys that what you can do is you can yourself keep observing henceforth what Mercury is doing, whenever it's retrograde. I've seen it that when it's retrograde, the effects are not much because it's when it's retrograde and it goes towards the sun, it's a very high speed kind of thing because sun is moving this way and Mercury is moving this way, and both of them are kind of, and then that effect plays out very quickly. Mostly you'll see this when Mercury is direct, because then both these planets are kind of moving together and they come together because
they're about to hit me in the face.
yeah, I'm sorry. So
just to clarify, what is Cazimi? So Cazimi is, if you take the orb of the sun and the moon, they're the same relative size in the sky. They're 35 minutes of arc across. So Cazimi takes that diameter of the sun or the moon in the sky, which is roughly 35 minutes of arc, so half a degree, right, spatially. And it cuts it in half. So Cazimi means to be within 17.5 degrees on either side of the sun by longitude. That's the strict definition. Now, some people take that to 30 minutes on either side. Some people even go 1 degree of the sun. Why? Because you see the effects. Even within 1 degree, you can often see the effects. But in addition, that's by longitude. By latitude, the sun and Mercury are also very close. Mercury's 4 degrees declination, sun is 5. So they're not only like right on top of each other by longitude, they're also not too far apart. The sun is just about a degree in declination more. So literally sun and Mercury are together. What do you take? How many minutes of arc do you take for Cazimi?
35 minutes.
35 on either side.
On either side.
Yeah. A lot of astrologers do that, and that seems to make sense as well. So it's definitely Cazimi, and as we can see here, it's also with Chiron, which is kind of a good thing. It's a good thing if there's any healing you need to do in your life or anything like that. The sun is in the star called Pushya, which has to do with healing, which has to do with animals and taking care of those who depend on you. Revati. Right. Sun is in Revati. What did I say? Pushya. Oh, well, it's in the Revati, which is ruled by Pushan, the deity of Revati. Yeah, my bad. So, Mercury debilitated, not good for speech. Or it's good for Mercury in the water signs. It's good for intuitive elliptical speech, where you know what you want to say in your mouth is just catching up, but your brain is already, ahead. So it's good to have someone. I think it's have people to advance. While there is, we do have information on charts of various coins and tokens, but so that also plays out. But these kind of things that are happening in the sky also play out. So one should watch for them. It's easy to follow an ephemeris and do your own research. It also helps others because you can, obviously write to Simon G. and then. So this is a good point. So what Abhijit is saying, for those who are non-astrologers out there is a chart for every token. There's a chart for Bitcoin. But regardless of all of those charts, what's happening in the sky right now will affect the markets, even despite the chart. So for example, anytime there's Mercury combos, anytime there's a Mars, I've noticed Mars, Saturn squares, the price goes down. In other combinations like that. Yeah, Venus, whenever Venus is in trouble in the sky, things go wrong. There are corrections or sometimes nosedives, but it definitely plays out. And mostly it does play out. Well, that's good news because now Venus, Jupiter, they're all moving into good places. So yes. Venus is out of the, it was in a planetary war and there with Saturn. Venus is moved out. Jupiter is about to move into Pisces. Saturn is about to move into Aquarius. Rahu in my opinion, has already moved into Aries, the true node, but its shadow is catching up with it. So there's a lot of, see, phone call from God. So there are a lot of things coming together to improve the situation.
Yeah. So, in fact, I would like to add something here that Saturn moved into Capricorn on 20th of January 2020 or 22nd of January 2020. And ever since then, we've seen, we saw the whole pandemic situation happen for 2 years. Everything was kind of shut, and there was a lot of political unrest. There was the George Floyd thing happened, Black Lives Matters. Plus there were a lot of agitations all across the globe. There were agitations, farm agitations in India. So you see, Saturn actually governs, and this, I'm just going to the basics of astrology. What does Saturn govern? Saturn is taking care of everything that is small, that is slow, that is weak. Saturn is kind of the Nyaya Devata. To translate in English, it would mean the Lord of Justice. So Saturn does bring justice. And so if you're wondering why did the pandemic hit, this is what I think, that we in our all walks of life had forgotten about nature, we'd forgotten about the right things to do. And Saturn, as soon as it came to its, its home, Capricorn, where it is most detrimental, I mean, even in natal charts, Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn in Aquarius, it's two different things. They are both owned by Saturn, both these signs. But Saturn is very strong here, and Saturn actually brought everyone to justice. I mean, Saturn actually taught everyone a lesson that, listen, whatever you're doing is not okay. The pace at which you are ruining Mother Earth or whatever, you're not giving time to your families, or you're not staying at home, not spending time with children. These are a few examples that I'm using, but all that kind of got collected. And for 2 years, you were at home with family, eating the right thing, cooking yourself. We learned a lot of skills. We started praying, and a lot of people who were not taking care of their health actually suffered a loss. There was loss of lives. There were a lot of things to learn. And now I can say that, I mean, back then in 2020, beginning of 2020, I did not realize this, but obviously this is learning for me, is that Saturn, we should have actually predicted that this whole pandemic situation will go until April 2022, end of April 2022, because that's when Saturn moves out to Aquarius. And so Saturn, I think, is done with teaching us a lesson. I hope we all have learned our lessons, but at least we know how to live with tough situations and tough, because a lot of people lost their jobs. And
so you're saying Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn rules the little people. It rules democracy in its truest sense. The vote, every vote counts, and so forth. So, meaning if it's a black vote, a brown vote, yellow vote, whatever vote, they all count the same. That's the ethos of Saturn. And so your chickens are coming home to roost. So how will Saturn do in Aquarius?
Saturn in Aquarius is going to be more giving, because if you see in the normal zodiac, Saturn owns the sign 10 and 11. So 10th and 11th house. 10th house is your duties, your work, your career, and it's a Karyasthan. And now Saturn moves from there, it moves to the 11th house. And why is Saturn the lord of the 11th sign, which is the the regular
in the natural zodiac.
In the natural zodiac, is because the more you work, the more you get. That's the ethos of it.
So in a way, it's the rightful reward for hard work.
Yes. So Saturn now in Aquarius is going to be more giving. In fact, in natal astrology, when I see Saturn in Aquarius in a chart, I kind of know that this person has enough to spend. They have good money. It's one of a standalone wealth yoga for me, because Saturn is giving there. Of course, if you work hard, I mean, Saturn will actually check if you
Yeah.
have to tick all the boxes and then only make money. But yes, now Saturn on a mundane level, I mean, Saturn is going to give more. So you will see, I think this whole war situation in Russia should come to rest. They recently spoke, the two parties got together in Turkey. I don't know what happened. I'm not following news because I'm following Simonji right now.
I'm just walking around, so I don't know why you're following. We're in the same place.
So
Yeah, the war thing might take some time, but we've looked at Putin's chart. I think before the end of the year, he's already having major disappointments. There's stuff in his chart that's setting him up for major disappointment. But the gist is that Saturn and Captain Aquarius should do
good.
Whatever you've worked hard for, whatever seeds you've planted during Saturn and Capricorn should begin to sprout.
And
Saturn
I'm
and
very
Aquarius.
sure that the crypto domain, the cryptocurrency market overall will see a lot of new entrants. You'll see a lot of gains happening, a lot of people booking profits. Bitcoin, I don't want to, give out a number that, okay, Bitcoin will reach here or there, but overall,
5 million.
yes, because Saturn's going to be in Aquarius until 2.5 February or March of 2025. So who knows?
Okay.
But yes, we're going to do a lot better.
Okay, well, let's see. Bitcoin to 5. Next, let's just say next, okay, 4 years. Okay, this is our question of the moment since it came up. What do we see here? Well, we have a Kazemi Lugna Lord. And okay, we'll look at this question a little bit. What do you think? What do you think of this chart? So I'm asking the question. I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't plan this.
So Ascendant Lord is in debilitation in the 10th house. And it has no aspect from Venus or Jupiter, so that I would like to look at the D9
Yeah.
for him.
Let's do this.
Moon is in Taurus in D9, the 4th house. Moon is okay. Ascendant Lord is in the 8th house. It's going to be a sudden, whenever this happens, it will just move suddenly. So it's going to be a very sudden kind of move. Again, Mercury in debilitation in the 10th house also suggests the same thing. It's going to be sudden communication which will bring in this change. And see Mars exalted. And the yogi of this chart is Jupiter and Mercury is the duplicate yogi. So it doesn't look likely that we'll go 5 million, but there are going to be several movements.
Yeah. So what I see here is what you pointed out. First of all, the other yogi of the chart is combusting the Lord of the chart. So the answer is no, it's not going to go to 5 million. But we have Ardra rising. Ardra is an upward moving nakshatra, so it's going to go up. How far up? Well, the Lugna Lord, while being combusted, is still Kazemi. The yogi of the chart aspects the ascendant. And so what this chart is telling me, it's going to go up so high. What do you care if it hits 5 million? Like, it's going to go up very high. Putting a number on it, though, I don't think 5 million. This chart seems to say no,
Yes.
right? But even while saying no, it's saying, to me, this is what it's saying. It's saying, so what? Why do you care if it goes to 5 million? You're going to be so happy with it going up.
And why? Because Jupiter makes people happy, and especially when Jupiter is a yogi.
And the yogi point is exactly in the ascendant, exactly trying the yogi. You're gonna be massively
The yogi point is what, and the yogi give you what your heart desires.
desires. That's in the ninth house aspect thing. Lugna. We're happy. We're happy with this. The D9 has Pluto on the D9 Lugna, which again tends to kind of deny what the question is. So maybe not 5 million, but I think we'll be very happy if it reaches 1 million or 2.
The moon is in
Can
the-
you imagine?
Yeah.
That's a 15x from here.
Yeah, that's great. My personal number, and this is just for fun. I mean,
Hmm.
please don't take financial decisions based on that. But I think 77,000
This year.
this year, and then it kind of comes back,
Hmm.
and then starts going back. But 77,000, 76,000 is
Okay,
my.
I'm
And when I say this, I'm sorry. When I say this year, I mean the summer.
this summer. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think this summer it's possible. It's quite. That's a very good scenario. I think we're hitting 100K before the end of the year easily, but that could be September, October, November,
Yes.
right? So anyway, we've talked about that in the past. We think there's going to be a climb here, April, May, and then there's going to be some corrections, and then September, November, December,
Because these planets are going to be, sorry to cut you.
in Pisces, right?
Retrogression, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jupiter, I don't think it's going to come back. After Aquarius, or is it?
Jupiter, I think will,
Saturn will definitely come back to
Saturn will, right? Jupiter will not.
Capricorn.
Correct, correct. So, all right, so overall, number one, we think Saturn in Aquarius very positive. Jupiter in Pisces.
Very positive. And these are slow moving planets.
Let's just do it. I'm gonna list things and you're gonna say very positive or not positive. Rahu in Aries,
Positive,
Jupiter in Pisces,
positive,
Saturn in Aquarius,
positive,
Venus in Pisces,
very positive.
Mars in Aquarius and Pisces.
Aquarius, no, but Pisces, yes.
Okay.
Positive friends.
Then who else is moving? Isn't Neptune, I think, moving?
Ketu is moved out of kind of exaltation now. That actually also
Hmm,
is good because of these viruses around.
right, right. So the K2, both K2 and Rahu have been exalted, basically. So that's something you mentioned when we were talking, that this is a very beautiful point. Regardless of what's happening anywhere, when any planet has power, its effects will be seen in the world. Like Mars and Saturn right now are very strong. So there's war, there's aggression. It's a great time to exercise, to punch those old habits and start new ones. In fact, it's the beginning of spring and so forth. So great time for that. And as K2 becomes de-emphasized by going into Libra, and Rahu becomes de-emphasized by going into Aries, meaning they lose their exaltation, the effects of the virus on mentality, of things that are viral, things that are weird, out of the box, will begin to subside. So it's a great point.
This whole thing about, so we had Ketu exalted, we had Rahu exalted, we had Saturn kind of very strong. So there was a lot of things that were stacking together and making it a fixed.
And the benefics lesson. Venus was combust. Mercury had problems.
Jupiter in an air
Venus
sign
in a
is never-
planetary war.
Jupiter was in an air sign, which is not, Jupiter is not the most comfortable
Mm.
in air sign. Because Jupiter is Akash,
Mm.
Tattva,
Mm.
not Vaya.
Mhm.
So that's why Jupiter is always good in first house.
Yeah, so Jupiter and Gemini, Aquarius for Libra.
They are in air signs and
Yeah.
they are not the best places for Jupiter.
Right.
It's going to be, Jupiter is going to be far more happier than.
Let's go.
Jupiter.
Let's go. So this is a great point. The malefics are now going to start to become de-emphasized. Even Saturn, even though he will be moving into his own sign, this is the Mula Trikona sign. This in Aquarius, as Abhijit is saying, it tends to have more of a benefic effect than it does in Capricorn. So we shall see. And the benefics like Jupiter and Venus are going to have strength in Pisces. Mercury will be moving out of combustion. So this spring looks very positive overall. Knock on all the wood around you. Anything else that you want to say?
Nothing comes to my mind. It's just that I'm very, very bullish about the
You're
entire
Polish? I thought you were Indian. Wait,
I'm a bullish Indian.
oh, you're a bullish Indian.
I'm a
Okay,
bullish
you
Indian
must be
who's-
Taurus rising.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, my Taurus is where my Avayoga sits. So,
Okay,
but I'm bullish.
but still you're bullish. Okay.
That and I'm not talking on one Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. I'm talking overall the entirety of crypto domain. Everything's kind of entire market cap is going up, and when market cap goes up, obviously the Polkadots, for example, from 22, 24, can I mean it can go to 54 or something. It can go to 100, 150.
Yeah.
One of our members, I think Alex had mentioned
Mm.
in one of his presentations. All that could become real.
Let's go polka dots. Come on. I got my polka dot stack.
Same here.
Yeah, the last thing, Abhijit, you were saying something. You want to spend a minute talking about the dark moon, bright moon?
Yes. I do a lot of readings and I also have a lot of database of charts of people, celebrities and politicians, obviously, the software provides you that. I've seen that people who have had dark moon, and what is dark moon? Dark moon is when your moon is positioned within 72 degrees of
1 second.
1 second. Should I get the call?
No. And we're back. A little bit of an interruption, so you
Yeah.
finish
So
your
this
thought.
guy actually offered water, so this is a good, this is again, Revati. He's taking care of you.
Yes.
So you want water. So,
Yes, and by the way, to finish that thought about the sun being in the Revati, because it's only going to be there another 12 days. The Revati is the time to take care of those people and animals and things that need you. It's the time to go get healing, especially with Chiron and Mercury there. So any healing program you begin, it's good. Oh, and travel.
Pusan is the deity of the roads. So if you're planning any trips, this is a great time to.
You're actually a travel agent, so if people
Yes.
want to book some
oh
travel.
yes,
Con-
they could contact me.
Yes.
Just write to me.
But seriously, that's another aspect of Jupiter moving into Pisces. James Kelleher was actually talking about this, that the world is going to open up. Travel, international travel is going to boom.
Big time.
So Abhijit can get you guys some deals. I'm hiring him as well because I'm my own worst travel agent.
If I book something, it's a guarantee I'll have to cancel it, pay penalties and rebook it. And anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah, so I'll just finish that point that I
Yes,
was
yes,
talking
go
about the dark moon. Dark moon is when moon is within 72 degrees of the sun, either side. So if this is sun here at whatever degree and go this side. So basically 4 houses. I'm sorry.
So
3 houses, 2.5 houses on either side. If moon is within that portion, it's called a dark moon. And I've seen that people who are having dark moon are having a very horrid and a very bad time when they get into speculation, when they get into stocks and trading, actually, not stock. Stocks is not the right word because I don't tell you why. I'm talking about trading, any kind of trading, stock trading, crypto trading. But they can make money. It's not that they cannot. They can make money, but only through investment.
mhm.
So
Not through longing or day
No.
trading up
day
and
trading
down.
up and down, longing, or short spot buying. I'll buy Zilliqa today and then try to sell it day after. All that is wrong. It has to be long term. You buy something, then it stay there, invest time and money in it, and then it grows and gives you returns. The reason I started doing all this is because I have a dark moon. I was wondering why don't I gain success or from these shortcuts,
Mhm.
gambling or
Yeah,
sports gambling. I mean.
yeah.
And day trading and stuff. But I found out, I did my research and found out that, and I also spoke to Andrew G, Andrew Bhattaji, and he told me that the reason behind that is he gave me a couple of things in my chart which actually tell me why it won't work. But one of the things was that and I saw a lot of charts, a lot of people complaining who have really that they're not able to make money from day trading. And so
And so now your rationale for this is very good. So the why is it that people with the dark moon?
the why is these people have people who have a dark moon have the tendency to make wrong decisions because moon is kind of not combust, but it has it's
It's basically combust.
it's combust actually, and it is moon is your mind, your ability to think, and sometimes, most of the times, you will tend to take wrong decisions. Maybe entering at the wrong time, exiting at the wrong time. You know, something has gone 2x, but you think, oh no, it's going to stay.
Yeah.
It's going to go further, and you lose out. All that will happen. So, don't day trade. Don't get into shortcuts if you have a dark moon.
This is very interesting because those of you who are listening and who are like, oh yeah, I do that. You can be right. Like you enter a trade, like you're like, oh, I know Silica is gonna go up or this is gonna go up. And you enter the trade, you do a long or whatever it is. You can even be right and still either lose money or the process is so stressful for you that it ends up not being worth it. You make a little bit, but you sacrifice, then you have to let go 3 days of fasting or cleansing because you're all messed up. You know, it's you make the wrong decision or it affects your well-being to the point where even if you're making some money, you're still not satisfied. It's affecting your health. So I think that's a brilliant observation.
Yeah, you might make money, but if you put all your trades on an Excel sheet of the entire year or a quarter or semester, eventually the bottom line is going to be a very marginal green or red mostly. So it's mostly taking things away from you rather than giving. And plus, a lot of things matter. What Mahadasha is doing, lucky time and stuff. And in fact, this whole lucky time system that you and Shanti work for, and it's great because it's for people who have a dark moon, need that more. Because you need those little pockets of time in that entire day or month or that week where because this is okay for me.
That's brilliant. What is it that you said that if you have a great chart, you don't need lucky times, but the people who need lucky times really need lucky times?
That's from Sri V. Raman's book, Muhurta. His first chapter says that a lot of people who don't believe in Muhurta, people who are good charts, successful charts, they will always, by default, they are blessed, they will pick the right time for doing things. But it's people who have a dark moon or a chart which has problems, where planets or the yogas are not okay, more negative yogas. Those kind of people, we need the right Muhurta. And that's why Muhurta is important. That's a brilliant point. And B.V. Raman is right on this. I think that a lot of people who are successful in business who don't pay attention to astrology, they may not need it. But it's for people who need it that it's a real blessing. It can be a real blessing to avoid. So your point is well taken. So if you have a dark moon, meaning your moon is 72 degrees on either side of the sun, and if you don't know what that is, if you're not an astrologer, ask any of our local. We've got dozens of astrologers in our group. Just shoot a message on Telegram or somewhere. Or get a reading with Abhijit or any of our brilliant astrologers, Alex and Umesh, and we have Nadia and so many others. Any closing thoughts? Stay invested.
Stay invested. Look at this chart. I mean, this chart is so whimsical. It's literally laughing at me. And I feel confident to a point talking about charts now because the last 6 months were very difficult for me in that, I've talked about it before, that I feel like my predictions, my mind was sort of affected, but I feel a little more, focused now. And this chart is just saying, haha, who cares if it gets to 5 million? It's going up, dummy. And it's going up. So, okay, let's see what happens. Any last thoughts you want
No, I mean, I was just looking at moon does kind of signify your question with your mind.
to? Yes,
About gains.
in Swift games, Moon is in Ashwini with
Uranus around.
aspected by Mars. It's Shigra. It wants to go quickly. Let's go. Now, even when I was asking the question, I was like, well, the question was really the next 2.5 years while Saturn is in Aquarius. But I said, all right, let me be a little more conservative and say 4 years.
Hmm.
But my mind was on, look, is this going to happen quickly? Obviously, to go from 40,000 to 5 million is that 100x? Wait, 40,000, 10x is 400,000.
10x.
Yeah,
11x.
that's to 400. Then to 4 million is 100x. So we're literally asking if Bitcoin will 100x.
Yes. So then the chart is like, it's not going to 5. You said 5 million. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
talking about 500,000.
No, 5 million.
Yeah, so that's a tough ask.
For-
Even Satoshi Nakamoto is like, if he's watching this video, he's like, come on.
Yes, and who knows? Satoshi may be in the room.
Yeah.
Not this room, but one of the rooms watching. So, Hariom, thank you for that. And listen, we should do more of these kind of chats, kind of like podcasts.
Yes, if I have something to add, I will
Yeah.
buzz.
Let me know, guys, if you enjoyed kind of me talking to other astrologers, knowledgeable, good people. Maybe we can set up some kind of podcast. We could do 3, a panel
we could
of
have
3.
more astrologers who are there in our group.
In fact, why don't we have Andrew G next time?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, looking forward to that. Next time we'll talk to Shri Indrajit, Dr. Andrew Datta, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone. I hope this was useful. Sorry if it was a lot of astrology, but that's what we geek out on, and hopefully it's useful to you. All right. Namaste.